for a family for any trip can be stressful, but packing for a cruise vacation with your family can be even more stressful. What should I bring? What should I leave at home? What am I really going to need? Or what could I have left at home? So today I'm going to give you all the things that we travel with when we cruise with our family. These are tried and true things that I never cruise without. So let's get to it. So number one is packing cubes. So you want to use these to separate your clothes, of course, that you have that you're going to take for the cruise, whether that's 4 day cruise or 7 days or longer. What I like to do is I like to separate my clothes based on, so we fly in the day before the cruise or 2 days before the cruise. Like we try like to tour the city that we're leaving from. So I like to put the clothes that we're going to wear while before we set sail in the packing cubes. Therefore, we're not rummaging through our cruise clothes, trying to find what we're going to wear. And after that, after we get ready to pack up to leave to sail, then I put all the dirty clothes back in those packing cubes and put them back in the luggage. So I separate them from our cruise clothes. Number two, snacks. So you're probably wondering, cruise ships are full of food. Why am I bringing snacks? Well, they may not have your child's favorite snack on board, like they often don't have for my kids. And you also don't want to pay an exorbitant amount of money for their favorite bag of chips or their favorite cookie. So you want to make sure that you have snacks on hand for them, for those nights in the room where you're just sitting around and they start to get hungry. So you can always buy snacks too when you get in, like the day before you set sail at a local store, just so you're not packing chips and cookies and everything to take down with you as you travel. Number three, an electronics bag. So an electronics bag is extremely helpful because of course you're traveling with multiple devices and you want to have all your chargers in place. So an electronics bag has definitely been a lifesaver for us. I actually just got one. I can't believe I had gone that long without one. I took it on our last trip back in October, and it was a lifesaver. I had all of everybody's chargers in one spot. Nobody misplaced a charger. Nobody took the other person's charger, so it worked out really, really well. So I would definitely recommend getting an electronics bag for your travels, especially for your cruise, because you're going to have everything kind of scattered. So you want to make sure you have it all in one spot. So number four, air fresheners. So I like being able to kind of recreate my home space when I'm on vacation. So I always bring room fresheners. I normally bring two of them, one for the bathroom and one for the room. So I like to be able to kind of, like I said, recreate how my house smells, kind of give it a feel of home. The poopery, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You have that small room, all those people in one room. The bathroom is in that same room. So yeah, don't leave the poopery at home. Number five, disinfectant spray and disinfectant wipes. Now, I typically bring the small can of disinfectant spray because I also spray the plane seats and the tray tables as well as when we fly into our port. I also spray the room down. So typically I bring three small cans of this with me. And of course, you have to sanitize on top of sanitize. So definitely have on hand at least maybe two of these because they can run out pretty fast. Now, this size wipes. So I bring this size wipe instead of the small travel one. I do bring the travel ones for the plane, but for the cruise ship, for the room, I bring this size. Now, it may look like it takes up a lot of space in your luggage, but it actually does not. So I can pretty much go through half of this while I'm on board a cruise ship. So I would recommend this size instead of the small travel size for your room because you can run out of those pretty fast. So number six, life vest for the kids. Now you're probably wondering, why am I bringing life vests? So I bring both life vests for my daughter and my son because for excursions, I'm not sure of what they're going to have when we go on certain excursions, like with boats, and it may be a beach component to it. So I bring our own life vest. Now, you're probably thinking it takes up a lot of space in the luggage, but it actually does not. I've tried it on the last three cruises we went on, and it did not take up hardly. It took up space, but not as much as you would think. And people were asking like, "Where did you get those? Oh, we should have thought about that." So I definitely, from then on, I mean, I've done three with these, and they've definitely been helpful for our excursions when we do like boating or beach excursions because you just don't know, and you want your kids to be safe. Number seven, dishwashing liquid and a sponge. So I bring along dishwashing liquid to be able to wash out the kids' water bottles because they can get pretty gunky after a few days. So I bring dishwashing liquid along so I can can wash them out. And any other item that we have, there may be other cups or plates or something in the room. And I always bring this along with me. Every cruise, it never fails. And when we travel with other people, they always come to my room and ask to borrow some dishwashing liquid. Number 8, aloe vera. So bring along aloe vera for sunburn. So we have been lucky the last 3 trips we went on, cruise vacations, that nobody got sunburned to the point where they needed aloe vera, but I still had it on hand, of course, because you never know. Number 9, medications. So I like to bring all medications. I mean, from cold medicine to stomach medicine to Benadryl, you name it. So I like to keep it in a container a little bit bigger than this, but I'm just using this small one to kind of show you guys how I keep everything together and what I bring. Of course, goes in that C bands and Dramamine. So our last cruise was quite bumpy and rocky. Like I think we hit every wave in the ocean. So everybody was taking Dramamine. It was pretty rough ride. Another thing that I don't leave at home is the hydrocortisone cream. So this is prescription strength, but you can of course get it over the counter at your local store. My daughter got a case of swimmer's itch about 2 cruises ago, and she had a red rash all over her face. I had never heard of this. And so of course we started googling and researching, like, okay, this is what this is. So for the whole cruise, she had a rash on her face, but the hydrocortisone cream was a lifesaver. So if you don't have this in your medication container, I would add it just in case, because you never know, you might, like us, end up with this swimmer's itch and not be able to treat it. Number 10, Ziploc bags. So I have been bringing these the last 2 cruises. The first cruise that we had gone on, I did not realize how important they were. So, but the last 2, I was prepared. So I bring about maybe 5 to 10 of these. And so I use them for various things. One of the main things I use it for is I will sometimes bring things back from, maybe it's like cookies or a pastry or something like that from the dining room, or like one of the specialty shops, just to have something back in the room to snack on when it gets late at night and everything is closed. They really came in handy. I got sick on one of the cruises and I wasn't able to go to um, breakfast a couple of mornings. And so my mom was on the cruise with us and she brought me back pastries in these Ziploc bags. I was the only one with that on the crew, that had Ziploc bags. So I gave her the bags and, hey, bring me some pastries back. And so she was able to bring those back to me. But these are extremely handy. You can use them for multiple uses, but that's one of the main things I use it for. It's like I'm bringing snacks and stuff back for us in the evening and nighttime when we start to get hungry and things have closed. Number 11, straws. Now, though that some cruise lines use those biodegradable straws or those edible straws, and my kids absolutely hate them. So I have started bringing straws on every cruise, and at the end of the cruise, I'm always out. And then like, when we cruise with family, they're always coming to me for straws because nobody likes those straws. So I bring just like regular size straws like this, and then I also bring coffee straws to for our alcoholic beverages. So definitely bring these along, especially if you're going on a cruise line that may have those biodegradable straws. The kids are not going to like them, I guarantee you. So make sure you have some of these handy. Of course, take as many as you need based on how many days you're going to be sailing. Number 12, magnetic hooks. So these will adhere to the walls in the cruise cabin. So we like to hang our cruise lanyards on there with our either your sailing sign card if you're on Carnival, or your cruise ID. I hang wet clothes on there. I'll hang, like, if the kids have their sun hats there, I'll hang those on there. These are really, really helpful. You can hang like your hanging bathroom, like your travel case in the bathroom on there. These have a lot of different functions. I typically take about 10 of these every time we cruise, and I end up using all of them because we typically have a lot of stuff. So definitely add these to your cruise packets if you haven't already. I got these on Amazon. Number 13, laundry detergent. So I like to bring along these little travel packs every time we cruise in case I have to do laundry. Of course, as a family, we rack up a lot of dirty laundry. So I don't like bringing a lot of dirty laundry home. So I will sometimes do laundry depending on how long the sailing is. I also bring along this. This is a Tide packet that goes if you want to wash clothes in the sink and then hang them up to dry. I also bring these as well. I get these, so shout out to Costco for their free samples because I got these from Costco as a free sample. I've also got some free samples at the kids' doctor's office too. So I'm always trying to get, samples everywhere I go. And these have been really helpful when we travel. So definitely pick up a couple of these if you see these in Costco or Sam's. Number 14, a first aid kit. So this is the one that we like to bring along. It doesn't take up a lot of space in your luggage. I also have one that fits in my purse. It's like a small, about this big, that I bring along. It just has alcohol pads and antibiotic ointment and band-aids in it. But this is the one we typically bring along with us every time we cruise and every time we travel, period. We also bring gloves too. So you never know when somebody's gonna have a scrape or a bump or some other injury. So definitely want to keep this handy because we kids and adults included, you never know what's gonna happen. Number 15, sunscreen. So I like to bring along a pretty large size sunscreen along for the kids. And then I also will bring like a little travel size that again, I've gotten another sample of to kind of keep in my purse just to kind of reapply if we're not going to be out long. But definitely have this on hand for any excursion, pool days, just even being out on the deck on a cruise. Like it can get pretty hot, especially if you're in the Caribbean. Number 16, plastic shopping bags. Now, I don't bring along any fancy or like knitted type bags for our wet clothes or dirty clothes. I will bring along, I know I take the shopping bags that we get from the grocery store and I bring those along and I put dirty clothes in there. I'll bring them to the beach with me and I'll tie up wet swimsuits and I will tie up, especially those water shoes with sand in them. The plastic bags really hold the sand in there and it's not all over your cabin and not all over your luggage. So if you're like me and you take bags from the grocery store and you keep them and you store them at your house, bring a few with you on your cruise and use them for wet clothes and clothes with sand in them. Number 17, a light jacket. So it gets pretty chilly up on the deck or on your balcony or in the theaters and the dining room. So having a light jacket on hand is always helpful. My daughter always gets cold when we're in the dining room and the theater. So I keep a light jacket for the kids and myself as well because, again, even if you're in the Caribbean, as hot as it is, inside the ship can be quite chilly at times. Number 18, my last essential for cruising with a family, hand soap. So I like to use these hand soap bottles with the pump when we're cruising. I don't like the bar soaps that they have in the rooms for you. This is just so much more convenient for you. You're on the go, and I feel like this is a better option than that bar soap. If you found any of these tips helpful that I provided today in this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tips. If you have any additional items that you like to take on a cruise that I did not mention here, and that's something I need to know so that I can take them on mine too, please put in the comments. What are some things that you've liked? What are some things you found to be helpful when you're traveling with your family as well? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.